Hi guys, my name is Karma K Meleon or Hazel E-Boy if you don't know me, and this is my first YouTube video. I've been getting asked by some friends and family that I should hop on here, so why not now? I mean, I'm jobless and I live in a basement, so I really have nothing but time. um, don't mind the fact that I have one nail glove and one not, and all these are botched. Before you say something in the comments, you know. But today we'll be getting this beautiful drag mug. Very warm and smoky, terracotta colors, all those things. And if you want to see how I got this look, just keep on watching.
Okay, so jumping into it, I'm going to be using my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, just pressing that into the skin. Make sure you're hitting everywhere you need to hit. And then I am going to just absolutely smother my forehead in e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer. I really just grabbed the lightest shade I could find because, well, I'm a corpse. I'm sorry. And then we're just gonna blend that out. I'm only doing the upper half of my face right now because I don't want fallout from the eyeshadow. So I'm going to use this NYX SFX cream paint to do my brow highlight, starting at the top of my natural brow and just flicking it out and around my brow muscle. You can make these higher if you want to, but that's all on personal preference. And you could just go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Now I'm going to go in with some eyeshadow. I'm going to use that little mauvey brown shade from the James Charles mini palette, and I'm just packing that in onto my eye socket. Not in my eye socket, on my eye socket. I promise there's a difference. You're going to blend that out to the best that you can so it looks a little something like this. Now I'm going to take that same brown shade and a lighter brown shade with the same brush and start creating a tail for the shadow. I'm using light flicking motions so that it can have a bit of gradation, so it's not just a stamped on line, even though it is going probably all the way to my hairline. And also just remember to blend that. You can use a clean blending brush for that afterwards. Now I'm going to take a darker brown with a pencil brush and just deepen up that crease using stamping motions, and then I'll blend it out with that lighter color afterwards. And then I'm going to take a makeup wipe on my finger to cut my crease. I just find it gets like a cleaner base and it's easier to fix as opposed to using creams right off the hop, and it gets a cleaner white when I use the cream paint over top of it afterwards. As I mentioned before, you're going to go in and fill that in with the white NYX SFX cream paint we used for the brow highlight. I like to use a lot to make sure it's nice and opaque, and make sure you keep your lines clean. The makeup wipe should have helped with that. Next, we're going to do some eyeliner. Now, I just do the stereotypical drag queen eyeliner where I just cover my whole eyelid in eyeliner. I'm using the e.l.f. liquid liner, but you could really use whatever you want. It's a little patchy, so I'm going to go in and set it with black afterwards. And I'm not doing a wing for this one. Then, like I said, I'm going to go in and set that with some black eyeshadow. Again, just using the James Charles palette and a nice dense packing brush. Then I'm going to go back in with that dark brown and taper out that wing to make it nice and smoky. You can use a little black in there too. I did myself, just so it's nice and dramatic. And like I said, I like really big wings, as you can tell by how far out they are. And now I'm just taking really all the gold metallics of the James Charles palette that I can and putting them on the lid. And now finally for the face, I'm just taking more of that e.l.f. concealer and really just painting on as much as I can. Blending it out with the sponge. I really just like using the concealer as opposed to foundation, as it just gives me more coverage. And then I'm going to use some Juvia's Place concealer as highlighter. Now this is also just their lightest shade because I kind of figured it would at least highlight me, or I had hoped. So put that on all the high points, under your eyes, chin, nose, upper lip, and your forehead. And then you're just going to go ahead and blend that out right afterwards. I still can't get over how pale I am. Like I'm just watching this back, and it's interesting to say the least. Oh yay, contour, so I'm not dead. Down the nose. You gotta hit them cheeks. And then you're gonna do the forehead, and you know, the whole 9 yards. Wherever you'd normally contour. I'm gonna put on a pretty liberal amount because I don't want to have to do too much powder contouring. And then you just blend her out. Now I'm going to set my face using the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder in, again, the lightest shade. Use as much as you want. I just honestly pounded it on until it looked right to me. And then I'm powder contouring using the Kat Von D Shade and Light in the Fair palette that they have. And just using the lightest shade. You're probably going to hear me say that a lot. I don't know, I'm just really pale, so deal with it, I guess. Now moving on to the lower lash line shadow, I'm going to use this little Anastasia brush and use all the same shades we used on the top of our eye, starting with that medium brown into blend it out with some light brown, and then deepen it up with some dark browns. Just make sure that all these browns are like a rosy terracotta undertone. And then after that, I'm going to add some black because, well, drama, and I'm not going to be wearing lower lashes, so I want it to balance out. Now I'm just going to do a little inner corner liner and blush. I'm using the Violet Voss Vibes, using the first, like the orange and the pink shade, putting it on my cheeks, my forehead, the tip of my nose, and chin, and a little bit on my jaw. Essentially, most of the places that we contoured, just to, I don't know, brighten them up and make me look less like a corpse. She's really trying her best, okay? And then I'm going to take some loose powder again and just go right over that to soften it up a bit. Next is freckles. I'm going to use this Maybelline eyebrow marker. It's meant for like a microblading effect, but I just use like the biggest point on it, and I just dot everywhere as sporadic as I can. All over my nose to kind of frame my nose contour, up my cheeks, underneath my eye, on my forehead, my upper lip, my chin, you name it. Anywhere a person would naturally have freckles, obviously, but we're doing it a little darker than natural because this is stage makeup at the end of the day. And then we're just gonna go and soften that up with the Beauty Blender so it's not as pungently dark. Now it's time for lips, bitches. I'm gonna use this Anastasia Beverly Hills lipstick in the shade Ashton. I use it literally like every time I do my makeup. It's really kind of hateful, but it's so cute. I'm just using this little flattened e.l.f. concealer brush, and I'm just gonna overline the absolute Jesus out of my lips because I have a very small mouth, and we gotta do something about that. Like, we can't leave her all thin lip, girl. No, it's not the look. So starting from the middle outwards, I try to overline mostly the center top of my lips, not so much the sides, as it gives it more of like kind of like a puckered look. So I'm just going to try my best to make that even on the other side. You don't get to see me struggle because I edited it out, and I'm also covering it with a fucking palette. So, boo you, I guess. I'm marking out the crevice underneath my lip for the bottom, and then just connecting the sides. I find that's what gives me the most voluptuous lips. And then you're just going to fill it in from the outside working in, so you have really as little product as you can on the center of your lips. Helps for ombre. And then you just blend and you blend and you blend, so she don't look fugly, you know? Now I'm going to use the e.l.f. white concealer and just put a bit on in the middle of my lip, transfer it, and blend it out for highlight. I put a little too much on this one, but it works in the end. Now you got some cute lips. Look at you. Now for highlight, I'm using the Kat Von D Metal Crush highlight in the cringiest name, Gold School. Just highlighting everywhere you typically highlight, you know? High points, lack of eyebrows, those things. And then eyelashes. Then you got some eyelashes. I have giant eyelashes. I made them out of lots of other eyelashes. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about where I got them. They're just big eyelashes. Duo glue, you know. And now she got mug. Kind of cute though, no lie.
And this is the finished look, as you saw in the beginning. I'm absolutely loving how this turned out though, honestly. I was originally going for something very Hollywood. That didn't happen, but she's still really cute. So if you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up and a comment if you really want to. And if you're feeling really extra, you could probably subscribe if you like that, you know, if you want to. But aside from that, I think that's all. And thanks for watching.